think by letting innocence lead and history follow. So the child carried the moment, but the adults carried the meaning.
Ruby Bridges is a small girl that never gives up.
Don't be afraid of the world. Be bold. You should treat people how you wanted to be treated.
As somebody that's very small can do things that can change the whole world.
What do you think would have been different if Ruby Bridges hadn't done that?
Like, we wouldn't even see each other, and we wouldn't even know each other.
This is one of those stories that once I became aware of it and saw that there were scripts about this story, it felt like the perfect fit for what we try to do here at the Ned. It gives us an opportunity to focus in on this remarkable young woman who, with the support of her family, literally marches through hell just to get her education.
It's the story of a little girl who steps into a world unlike her own and changes the world behind her.
First and foremost, she was a little girl that was put in the middle of a big movement that she had no idea that she was going to be a part of. And she still remained that little girl. She still remained that sweet little girl who just wanted to go to school.
What we're showing on this stage is the courage of a family, a little girl who was a disruptor.
In 1954, there was a case of Brown versus the Board of Education, where segregation was considered unconstitutional. But it wasn't until 1960 that Ruby Bridges passed a test that said she would be a great candidate to go to the William Frantz School in New Orleans, Louisiana.
She didn't come from means. She was just an everyday, average little girl who was happy where she was, but her parents knew that she deserved better.
Aben, her father, was not keen on the idea, but then you have this mom, Lucille, who is grounded, who is sure about her faith even in the face of adversity, who chose together as a family to walk this hard road of integrating schools.
Her mother walks her there and back every time, and every time there were people lining the streets and protesting.
She was a giant in a little body, and she practiced humbly with peace, love, and prayer.
She was well grounded in her faith. She still prayed for other people when they were being mean to her, spitting on her, speaking death threats against her and her family.
And she just went every day and did it as if it was a part of her regular life.
We rehearsed all the walks yesterday, like going from Ruby's house to the school, and to imagine that an actual 6-year-old girl had to go through that, it's awful.
It makes me feel sad that she had to go through all of that. I would also be sad. I would be like, I don't know what to do. Should I listen to them? Should I listen to my mom? Should I just look down and ignore everybody? I'm just gonna have a bunch of emotions going everywhere.
Integration into schools happened in 1960, and I was born 6 years later. So it could have easily have been me who would have been in the position of Ruby.
It's easy to think that that was way in the past, and it wasn't. This is not something that's, you read about in history and think about as being Civil War or something that doesn't affect our lives or affect people that are still alive today.
There's such a responsibility to treat this with the utmost of respect. If we were being historically honest with this, I don't know a person who could sit through it. But there is something about what the playwright has done with this that gives us a glimpse into this ugly, ugly time without overwhelming us with it.
What felt most to get right when approaching this project is to tell the story with truth and tenderness, honoring the weight without stealing the wonder.
A lot of it happens in pre-production when you're discussing what are the themes of this piece, what do we want the audience to take away from this piece. So the themes that we talked about were bravery, courage, imagination plays a large part in this.
Costumes were very helpful
to actors when stepping into a story. As an actor myself, at times, costumes are great. They help a lot because they help people to put on somebody else. And like when you put on your costume, you're not yourself anymore, and it helps you to step into the time period. It helps you to step into the experiences because these aren't clothes that you would typically wear, and it helps you to really feel how the person felt because you're wearing their clothes. Ruby's costumes, I wanted them to show how her own understanding of the world, her own experience shapes her as a person, and I wanted the costumes to kind of bring that out.
It's hard for a director to conceptualize their blocking and what they want to do with their cast until they have a backdrop to go on. Ebony and I spent a couple conversations trying to iron out what that is as quickly as possible, and have since been having conversations on making slight adjustments here and there based on what she is doing with the blocking and what she needs.
The piece that I am creating for the show is showing the adult Ruby Bridges with the two younger actresses, the one young lady that's playing herself and her little best friend. What inspired my approach to this artwork is to show that the love radiating from the adult Ruby to the younger Ruby and saying, hey, I'm still here. I understand. I felt everything that you're feeling right now in this moment while you're the young little girl. I'm the adult now, and I'm still here and I'm still standing.
How did you do it every day? Because she was going in and out of a school with people yelling at her. If I was her, I wouldn't be able to do it.
If you were born when Ruby Bridges was born and one of your parents didn't know that you went to school, what would you do if you saw her outside playing by herself? I would go over there and try to make friends with her.
My mother, she, lived in the 60s. And she told me stories about what she had to deal with.
My family experienced this. I've heard stories.
Well, a lot of the younger generation, they have no idea of their past, what our ancestors went through for them to have the rights and privileges that they have today.
She still went to school. She still fought to have that right to be in school with other races, and I found that very beautiful. And it really just made me think like, wow, I'm allowed to do this, and I didn't have to go through what she had to go through.
The marching, the bus, we went through a lot just to do what we do now. And some of us do take it for granted, but we need to be more grateful for what they did for us.
My mother always told me, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget about your history, or don't forget about the people that paved the way for you to be where you are today. All children deserve the same quality of education. Don't matter where you came from, don't matter who you are, no matter what skin color you are. Every child deserves a great education.
Education is a life changer. And in that era, I think they understood that. So for me, I value the story being told because it emphasizes the importance of knowledge and how it's the one thing no one can take from you.
Someone looked inside of Ruby and saw potential that Ruby had, that she can survive at any school. I don't care if it was a black school or a white school. Ruby can survive at any school because she was a bright young lady.
Some of the other teachers wouldn't teach Ruby. And I think that it was really great that she saw Ruby as a person and was saying, I'm going to teach her. I don't care, what color she is. She's still a child and she deserves to have a good education.
He never refers to Ruby as one of his patients. He refers to Ruby as his greatest teacher because he taught him so much about how to overcome problems, not through retaliating hate, but through spreading love and having love towards people even though you might have different opinions.
I teach, and I see students of all ethnicities, and in my classroom, I focus on community and loving each other and a safe environment.
For this show in particular, where Ebony's biggest desire, and mine too, was that we all learn to trust each other because of the content of the show. There are some very sensitive things that happen in this show that within the cast could create division or dissension or mistrust. And I think we've worked really hard to build a space where our cast has been able to come together.
It was the first choir rehearsal, the first music rehearsal, and I am a lush for koinonia, which is a Greek term for fellowship. It's deep-seated sharing, partnership, and community. And when I saw black and white babies and adults singing "Can't Hate Your Neighbor if your mind is stayed on Jesus," I was done. So that is the moment for me that when we can look at our neighbors in the face and see them for who they are and who God has made each of us to be, that was the moment I knew that this was going to be special, because I saw that in them and they got it without me having to say a word.
The moment where Ruby says, sometimes she feels like a mistake. It's hard to hear a child say that they feel like a mistake. It's hard to hear or see that is still happening today.
That was paramount to me. She was enough. She is special. And the fact that she prayed for everybody.
The only thing that I want her to realize is that there was nothing wrong with her. And every child needs to realize there's nothing wrong with you.
I think what stands out the most to me about Ruby Bridges' story is her mother, Lucille. As a mother, I relate very closely to Lucille in wanting to raise your children up to be strong, confident, and yet very conscientious human beings.
Watching Lanita be not a mother to this young lady that has a mother, but to see that she's playing the role of Ruby Bridges' mother is touching. It's really touching to see.
I am a mother, and I put myself in that position as if it was my baby, and the things that she would have to face, or the crowd, and that the weight of that whole situation.
It is very true. Ruby was very brave, but she was brave because her mother taught her to be, asked her to do this thing, asked her to walk to school every day, be shouted at, had things thrown at her. And as a mother, I don't know if I could have done it. So I really respect her a lot for that, because she was looking at the bigger picture. She was looking at the greater good, and it was her faith in God that allowed her to push forward, look forward, and see that there was a greater purpose here, that there was something very important happening, and she wanted to help the world understand that people are created equal, and that we don't have to be afraid of each other, and that we can trust one another and love one another.
I connect to her and everybody in the play, because one life touches another. You know, Ruby Bridges, I saw myself as a little girl. I saw my mother and my grandmother and my aunts, and those who came before me, and little girls who come after me. One life touches another. You know, Ruby Bridges, I saw myself as a little girl. I saw my mother and my grandmother and my aunts, and those who came before me, and little girls who come after me.
I'm really inspired by the part that instead of trying to get back at those people who were mean to her, she just prayed to them and how, like, even when people are mean to me, I shouldn't try to be mean back to them. I should just pray for them instead.
I do relate to her faith. Like whenever I'm down or feeling like sad or something, I always I depend on God. I know that He can help with anything.
Looking forward to me is that remembrance with that restraint, so I can move in purpose and not be stagnant.
Look forward. Look forward towards the opportunity that you're about to walk into.
Stay focused. Fight for what's in front of you, because what's in the past is in the past. It's behind you.
I heard somebody say, I hope that people look back at my life and say, I'm glad he was here.
Hold your head up. Stay positive. No matter what happens or what troubles you may face, stand tall. Look forward. Move on.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be okay. Just don't worry about anything else. Just look forward.
If you're scared, like, if you don't really want to do it, you just, like, try it.
Being able to create more art, to beautify my space, to beautify this world, and to also encourage the younger generation, like, hey, if you want to create art, create art. Don't be afraid to create art.
Just becoming what my mom always wanted me to become.
Just to keep moving forward.
In order to move forward, yes, we have to look back to see where we've been, but we can't stay there.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
Even whenever things are hard, you should never give up. You should keep moving on.
Get to know a person for who they are, not just for the color of their skin. That's what I'm praying that our future would be.
Kids having a better education, looking forward to them getting along with each other.
Look ahead, keep your eyes on the goal. Don't be distracted. There will always be detractors, there will always be distractions, there will always be reasons not to go. I think about that a lot with this story, like the trust and the faith you have to have, because she was in true danger, true, honest danger. There were life-threatening, not just in words, but it just seems like the wrong thing could have happened. And so, even in the face of that, to just continuously look forward, to keep stepping one foot in front of the other, I mean, that's what we're all trying to do.
Integration is important, and we should continue to make it a priority culturally. It's good for us.
The more we are open to the change, we see that change involves you, it involves me, it involves everybody. Everybody plays a part in life.
Like, it takes all of us to make the change, and there were people willing to stand up on both sides to say that this is the right thing to do. So I connect with anybody who's willing to stand in the face of adversity. That is my heart. Because truth does not expire, and courage has no age, and justice is in every color.
An injunction was what gained admittance for me into all-white Jackson High School on January the 25th, 1963. And I had to be admitted to that school. The adults went to court. I went to school.